Did I even think about double cleansing back then? Not really. It was so painful, sting so much. I would like rub my face really hard. For me, this is basically just irritation in a bottle, and I thought that that was great. Yeah. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Rose. Now today I thought we'd do something a little bit different than what we usually do, and by different I mean this is going to have nothing to do with K-beauty. Instead it's going to be kind of like the reason why I got into K-beauty in the first place. I've been quarantining with my parents, and in my old bathroom there's obviously a lot of products that I used to use when I was a teenager, and looking at them, honestly, like, I was cringing. It was awful. I had such bad skin habits. So I thought what might be kind of fun to do today is look back at my old skincare routine, relive my teenage years, and see exactly how good or bad my skin routine was back then. Spoiler, it's bad. It's very bad. A little bit of a backstory about me and my family. If you've watched my channel before, you might know that my mum is an actress. As an actress, skincare is very important to her, and she kind of put that on me and showed me the importance of maintaining your skin. And as such, she really drummed into me from a very young age: cleanse, tone, moisturize, cleanse, tone, moisturize, always. So I have had a skincare routine of some sorts for many years. However, I had literally no idea what I was doing. None. I didn't know my skin type, I didn't know what my issues were. I had no idea what I was doing, and I think when you look at these products, you'll kind of see that I had no idea what I was doing. I mean, that's just pretty much the story of my entire teenage life. In every aspect, absolutely no idea what I was doing. And also, so you can bear in mind while watching this video, I have very sensitive skin. I've had eczema from a very young age, eczema on my face. I had quite good skin in terms of, like, I didn't have any acne growing up. I had quite clear skin, except for the eczema obviously, but overall I had pretty good skin. Then when I got into my early 20s, it's when I started getting acne, and that was really bad. But when I was a teenager, I didn't really have that much to worry about except for the sensitive skin aspect. But you can see, like, I didn't really care about that either, apparently, when I was a teenager. You'll see when we go into the products, you're gonna be like, you have sensitive skin and you use that? So bearing in mind that my mum taught me from a very young age that cleansing is important, the first thing that I would go in with was a makeup wipe. Now, I don't even have any makeup wipes here to show you because I don't purchase them, I don't use them. I've spoken about this a lot. I don't like makeup wipes, and I really don't think that any of you guys should be using makeup wipes in your skincare routines. They're far too rough on your skin. You're tugging at your skin, which is going to lead to early aging. To keep them wet, then they're going to have preservatives in them, which you're then just putting on your face and you're not washing off, which is really not a great thing to be doing with your skin. I really don't think they're necessary, and there are so many other products that you can use that are better for your skin and do a much better job of getting off your makeup than cleansing wipes. However, I didn't know this when I was a teenager, and so what I would do was I would come home and I would like rub my face really hard with a makeup remover wipe and like chuck it in the bin, and I thought that that was great. It was not great, and it definitely made my skin extremely irritated. After I'd used a makeup wipe, I would then go in with a cleanser, and this was my cleanser of choice. This is from La Roche-Posay. This is their Effaclar range, their Gel Mousse Purifier. Now, this was not a good cleanser for me to be using. This is far too harsh for my skin. But when I was younger, I went with the idea that was quite common at that time, which was if you feel it doing something, then it's doing something good. Now we know now that that is not the case. It would make me super red. It would get off all of the makeup if I was wearing makeup, or it would make my skin feel clean, but it would make my skin also feel very tight and dry, which is not what you want with a cleanser. After you cleanse, you should still be feeling very moisturized and very nourished. If you feel that your cleanser is stripping your skin, you need to get another cleanser. And this cleanser was definitely stripping my skin. Now, this is not to say that La Roche-Posay don't do great products. They really do. They have whole ranges for sensitive skin. I was just a moron and I thought that this was the best one for me. Specifically because it said tested on oily, acne-prone skin. Now, I didn't have acne, but in my head when I was younger, I was like, oh, if it works for like the worst kind of blemishes, then it's definitely gonna work on my skin, which doesn't really have any problems. It's gonna work even better, which is so stupid thinking back, but that was my mentality back then. So I would pump some onto my hand and I would massage it into my skin, and then I would wash it off, and I would think that my skin was clean because it felt clean. In actual fact, it was probably even worse than when I'd started the whole process. Yeah, again, I'm not saying this is a bad product. It is a good product for certain skin types, i.e. very oily, acne-prone skin, which is what it says. But I don't read because I'm a freaking moron. La Roche-Posay is a very affordable brand as well, so if you do struggle with acne, then this is a very good second step double cleanse for you. Did I even think about double cleansing back then? Not really. The closest that I came was the makeup wipe and then this. So after I'd cleansed my skin, I stripped everything good away from my skin, I would decide that it was time to tone. And again, despite the fact that I didn't really have any acne or trouble with blemishes and stuff, I still thought that the best toner to go for was the harshest toner I could find. But also because I didn't have very much money, the cheapest. I went for Boots' own Daily Brightening Toning Water. Now, for anyone who hasn't been to the UK, Boots is like your local CVS, it's like your local drugstore, right? And they do kind of their own brand. And I'm not bashing the Boots' own brand, but is it the best skincare in the entire world? No. Now, I'm a little bit nervous because this was an incredibly cheap toner. And if you look at the ingredients list, right there, the second to top ingredient is alcohol. Now, I remember using this product very, very well because it was so painful to use. I'd wipe it on with a cotton pad and it would sting so much. By the way, for this entire routine, I'm completely ignoring my neck. I didn't start like moisturizing and looking after my neck, the skin on my neck, till I was like 21. Anyway, I would go in with this very harsh toner that would irritate my skin more than I can possibly explain. But again, I was going with this idea that was very common, which was if it hurts, it's doing something. Beauty hurts, right? But of course we know now that that is not what makes for good skin. And in fact, when I made the move to K-Beauty and I started using toners that were very hydrating and that were there to nourish your skin, then I saw amazing changes to my skin. There are also so many fantastic toners out there. You really don't need to be using a super harsh astringent like this toner. It says that it's exfoliating, but it's not really doing exfoliation the way that you should be exfoliating. I keep saying this, but it's very harsh. So when you're wiping it over your skin, you're kind of getting rid of everything. You're stripping everything from your skin, and you really just don't need to be doing that. There are exfoliators now that are incredibly advanced. The chemical exfoliators that you can find are going to do a much better job at revealing new, brighter skin for you. Also, just a note, toners are not for exfoliating. They're not an extra step in your cleansing routine. They're a whole thing in and of oneself. Don't believe the TikTokers who tell you otherwise. To swipe cotton pads onto their face and show you all of the makeup that they've managed to go off with their toner, that's not right. But obviously I knew nothing about that when I was 16. And I was haphazardly doing whatever the fuck I wanted to my skin, apparently. I genuinely don't understand why my skin was so good at 16. I'll put a picture somewhere here so you can see what I looked like when I was 16, but my skin was amazing. And I didn't deserve that. Obviously, I paid for it very harshly in my 20s when I did develop acne, but back then I was doing like whatever the hell I wanted, and apparently it doesn't matter. Anyway, after torturing my skin with this for a little bit, I then decided to move on to a product that was totally unnecessary and did far more harm than good to my skin. I decided for no particular reason that I would spray this stuff on my face. Now, I've spoken about Mario Badescu in my products I hate video, so if you're interested in why I really hate this brand, then I'll pop a link up here and you can go and check that out. But besides how much I hate the brand, this particular spray is so bad for my skin in particular. And you can see just a quick glance at the ingredients list. It's got a whole bunch of leaf extracts, flower extracts, very high in fragrance, all of which, as someone with sensitive skin, I really should be running a mile from. For me, this is basically just irritation in a bottle. But when I was younger, I was attracted to the pretty packaging and the nice scent. That was it. That was all I based my understanding of skincare on. So yeah, I sprayed this liberally all over my face, day and night, and just let it sit there for a bit, doing untold damage to my skin. So after I'd put layer upon layer of very dangerous ingredients on my face, I would then decide that, oh, I should probably use some moisturizer, which I really must have needed back then, because if we look at all of those products that I've used, they're all way too harsh for my sensitive skin. And what they're going to be doing is stripping away layer and layer of natural oils that are in your skin that keep your skin hydrated. So I've stripped all of those away. My skin is probably very dry at this point, very irritated, and in desperate need of some kind of nutrition, moisturization, something to give it a little bit of life. And so I did. I went in with a moisturizer, and this is where you really see that I am definitely my mother's daughter. So as an actress, aging is like the worst thing in the entire world. So she would use a lot of anti-aging products, and so I thought that I should start early and start using anti-aging products at the age of like 13. So what I ended up going in with, day or night by the way, was the No. 7 Lift Luminate Triple Action Day Cream. It's a nice little product, it's not that expensive, and it does have SPF 15 in it. Again, I wore this day or night time, it didn't really matter. I wasn't that focused on wearing SPF or not wearing SPF, but I'm glad that I was wearing some kind of SPF in the day, especially using after all of those harsh ingredients that's going to leave my skin super vulnerable. I'm glad I had a little bit of protection, but this one is specifically formulated for sensitive skin. It doesn't have the ingredients actually on the package, but I looked it up and it's got lots of lovely humectants in it. So this is actually a very good cream to use, and it's very inexpensive. However, it's also got brightening ingredients in it, and do I need that age 14, 15? Absolutely not. There are definitely moisturizers that I could have used that would better combat all of the destruction that I did with my other skincare steps. So was this the best cream for me to use? No. Was it the worst thing I could have possibly done? Absolutely not. Another note that I will say is, even though this is SPF 15, you should really be using SPF 30 minimum. Now, it's great if you use this and then use a sunscreen on top, that's fantastic. But if you're just using a product like this that contains SPF, you really need to make sure that it is SPF 30 and nothing else, because that's really how you're going to stop anti-aging. That's what's really going to make the difference to your skin. If you need some inspiration for really great sunscreens, then go and check out my Instagram, where I post all of my favorite products, sunscreen included, and I will post it down below so you can go and check that out. So after I used this moisturizer, again, day or night, didn't matter, I used the same thing, regardless of the fact that it says day cream on the packaging. I didn't care about that, obviously. That's it. That's all I would use. No SPF during the daytime, no eye creams, no sleeping masks at nighttime. I would just be like, yep, that's my skin looked after. Now, of course, I'm not here to like bash little old me. Like, I did the best that I possibly could. I mean, not the best I possibly could. I could definitely have done some research and done this better. But at the time, with the resources that I had, I just thought that that was good enough. I've definitely learned a lot since I was a teenager, especially getting into K-beauty. It's such an innovative market, and also products are so cheap that you can really test out and work out which products work for your skin and what doesn't work for your skin. So I hope you enjoyed that little trip down memory lane. It was a little bit traumatic for me, I'm not gonna lie. It's also very hot in here, and I think that this has just exacerbated my hot but it was very, very informative, and I'm glad I had the chance to go back and see how far I've progressed in my skincare journey and how much less damage I'm doing to my skin. And I think it's lovely that I'm taking such good care of it now when I kind of neglected it for years and years and years. I'd really love to know what you guys did in your teenage years that you would never ever ever think of doing now with your skincare. All of the embarrassing mistakes you made, I want to know them. So leave me a comment and let me know what you think. And I will see you guys this time next week. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!